So get this, Bitcoin hits an all-time high near $69,000 before tumbling. Bitcoin reached a new frenzy surrounding the world's largest cryptocurrency, pushed the price to $68,869, exceeding the previous high. Wow, really? So that was its last high was at 68.7. It went to 68.8, and that's okay. So then it tumbled below 60,000 level again in just a matter of hours. That happened. The new high reinforced a remarkable comeback for Bitcoin following a 2022 crash that created a huge losses for investors and triggered the downfall of several big industry players, including cryptocurrency exchange FTX and its founder Sam Bankman-Fried. Oh, that mother. The dramatic retreat from Tuesday's high offered a reminder of how much volatility still surrounds the digital asset. At one point, it was down 11%, the sort of drop last seen during the tumult of 2022. Yeah, I am putting money in Bitcoin, but I'm certainly nervous about it. I'll tell you that. So far this year, Bitcoin has been riding a wave of excitement sparked by a series of spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds that started trading in January. Those funds gave everyday investors widespread exposure to the digital asset, triggering anticipation of a record-breaking year. So what does that mean, Paul? Do you know what that means, Paul? So far the year, Bitcoin excitement sparked by a series of spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds. So that what does that mean?
Well, yeah. Again, in layman's terms, for coming from myself, in responding to that, you've created other avenues for money to flow into Bitcoin. So the financial world has easier access to collect investor capital and place that against Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies.
So they're like. So it's almost like they're, is it like, tell me if this makes sense. Is it like they're creating Bitcoin mutual funds kind of?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, electronically traded funds.
That's what an ETF is.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And here's a visual. I'm big trying to make analogies and visuals so folks can picture what's happening. If, let's say, Europe threw $1 trillion into the dollar, would the dollar go up? Or would it go down, or would it stay the same?
I think it would go up.
It wouldn't.
It would not.
But Bitcoin would. Precious metals would.
Okay.
So what's unique about Bitcoin or precious metals or Ethereum, gold and silver, is they're a trapped asset in a way. We can't create more of it just because there's more demand for it. But they can create all the dollars they want. Oh,
okay.
And so the value keeps draining out.
Oh, okay. And so there's a set limit on Bitcoin.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And in the precious metals world, it's estimated that we're only able to add 1% to the above ground supply every year.
So through mining.
Yeah. So if there's 100 ounces of gold on the surface of the earth, we'll add 1 ounce this year to that.
Okay.
1%.
So, okay.
Limited.
So there's more to this. The demand for these ETFs, that's electronically traded funds, or what? I feel like I know what I'm talking about now.
You do. Well, Jimmy,
the demand for these ETFs far exceeded anyone's expectations. Bitwise was among the firms that got the green light from the Securities and Exchange Commission to run one of these funds. So before they couldn't do this, now they can. Several money managers are now predicting the digital asset could rise above $100,000 before the end of 2024. I wonder which managers are saying that. Investors are bidding other cryptocurrencies and related stocks higher too, either ETH USD. So does that mean, what does this mean? US dollar? Is that what USD is?
Ethereum being priced in the US dollar.
Oh, okay.
Versus the euro or some other currency.
Okay. The second largest cryptocurrency has outperformed Bitcoin by more than 7% since the beginning of the year. Really? Several so-called meme coins, such as Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, I never even heard of that one. I've heard of Dogecoin, but I've never heard of Shiba Inu or Dog with what? They're also surging. I can't believe people would put their money in this. This seems that anyway. One sign of the new mania surrounding Bitcoin is the trading activity in the ETFs that launched in January. They have pulled in nearly $8 billion from investors in just 2 months. So that's what's going on, with the lion's share going to Wall Street heavyweights like BlackRock, and Fidelity Investments. No kidding. So now they're getting in on Bitcoin. Before, they wanted to make it illegal, but now they're getting in on it. There is also a basic law of economics at play in the new market frenzy surrounding Bitcoin. Supply and demand. Right. Fresh demand from the ETFs means more Bitcoins are being bought on average each day than new coins are being created. The new ETFs have been purchasing a daily average of 3,000 to 4,000 coins since the beginning of February. 3 analysts who work for Crypto Money Managers said last week. Okay, so now I'm starting to understand what's going on. That is considerably more than the 900 coins being created daily by the Bitcoin network in the same period. More supply problems are expected for Bitcoin this year in light of the halving scheduled to take place 46 days from Monday. What is that? You know what is a halving? Halvings, is that like when they split stock? They're going to split?
That's my understanding, yes. They double the amount of it.
Okay. All right. Wow, look at that. When it was created in 2009 by how do you say that?
Pseudonyms.
Pseudonymous. That's developer Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin was programmed with a fixed supply schedule that is cut in half every 4 years.
Yeah. So in that instance, you would be reducing the amount in existence and causing the price to double by cutting the amount of quantity in half.
So if I own Bitcoin, let's say I own 10 Bitcoins and they cut the amount of Bitcoins in half, do they take 5 of my Bitcoins away?
Yeah, but the price doubles.
Okay. So
that's my understanding. I'm not
I'm not a Bitcoin expert either. Max Kaiser is. We should have him on.
Yep.
After that next cut, the so-called halving, the daily supply of new coins will be 450 instead of 900. Okay, we are in potentially the sweetest spot right here, says this crypto manager guy. We can produce more Bitcoin to meet demand. We can't. We can't produce more Bitcoin to meet demand. Connor's firm has set its mid to high range price target for Bitcoin this year at between $160,000 and $180,000. Next year, it anticipates an eye-popping target of $350,000 to $450,000 per coin. Another money manager, this guy Van Eck, set an $80,000 2024 price target. Those estimates are admittedly a little stale now. Okay. And here's the chart, if you know what charts means, and there's where it is. So it seems like the people who do Bitcoin got an in with the SEC somehow and got the SEC to let them create these ETFs that would allow them to prop up the value of the Bitcoin. Is that what it seems like to you?
I wouldn't use the word prop, but chase after it, run it higher.
Yeah, like
find success from it.
So before they couldn't do this because of the Security and Exchange Commission wouldn't allow this. Right. Now they are allowing these big investors like BlackRock and Fidelity to go buy these like mutual funds of Bitcoins, and that is jacking up the value of the Bitcoin.
Right.
So that's what's happening.
The only caution to it all is no one does payroll in Bitcoin, right? You can't finance a loan in Bitcoin. How does it eventually play out? Is it really going to be the currency the world uses as central governments melt down into bankruptcy and abject failure? It's just a giant question mark.
So it's almost like a Bitcoin is an invented gold coin, right? I mean, you're from the gold world.
I've heard it called the digital gold, right? In a way, gold and silver ounces are limited. Bitcoin is limited. Ethereum is limited. But I absolutely can't just suddenly create a lot more gold and silver. But man potentially could create a great deal more of cryptocurrencies. I'm not going to get into the argument on where the fundamentals and the hard stops are within the design of Bitcoin or Ethereum. But a federally issued crypto dollar, wouldn't that be in direct competition with this? I don't think the Federal Reserve wants to give up, or federal government wants to give up market share
Yeah.
It's just a giant question mark. I haven't ever heard anyone resolve for me very well. I'd love to be on the show with someone who's an extreme fan and knowledgeable about Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, I'll bring Max Kaiser on. I'm sure if I can get him, I'm sure I can. And then, yeah, we could have you guys talk this out. And so because I'm certainly not equipped.
When you think about investing in a stock, they have a product, right? They make soup, they make household goods, they make lumber, they make whatever. When you look at precious metals, it can't be man-made, right? So and it exists physically. Carry it across the border. You probably wouldn't go on either side of the border these days, but if you wanted to go to Europe, live somewhere else, you could take it with you. To access my electronically listed investments, I need a lot of things to work that lay between me and the connection to my investment. In Bitcoin, I need the phone lines. I need the internet because the government regulates all that stuff. So I don't trust the government allowing things to. I don't see how the government's policies are ever empowering people. So how long does this empowerment of the average person wanting to switch away from fiat currencies into a holistic global currency? How long do governments allow that to continue? Because they seem to be positioned and on a trajectory to continue to ruin my individual power, privacy, and rights.
And so you can foresee a day when governments around the world, including this government, just says, "Hey, you know what? This Bitcoin has gone far enough, and it's screwing over our dollar," and then they will do some nefarious action to undermine it.
It's just a big question mark, right? And we look back. I mean, the governments didn't start off yesterday,
right?
Although many of them act like they were born yesterday. But when we look back through human history, where was the government that still exists today that is just kicking ass, serving up its people with great policies? Where is that government? So if there's no precedent, right? When the Supreme Court makes decisions, it's looking for precedent. Sometimes it's created for the first time, but a lot of times they want to base decisions off how other courts base decisions on things before. So if you're going to base your decisions on where you want your money located before a massive crisis comes around the corner or is already here and about to fall on top of us, I say there's 4 places for your money. There's physical cash in a safe at home, real estate in the financial realm, and in the vault.
Okay. And I'm putting my money in the vault.
But as humans, we all want to say, oh my God, what if 5 years from now Bitcoin's $1 million and we missed it?
Right. So I'm also putting some of my money in the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That just for that reason.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's the amount of money I'd be okay with losing. Put it that way. Yeah,
that's another thing. It's when you look at the viability of risk taking, there should be quite a certainty that you're getting your money back.
Yeah.
And well, that's why this was invented by someone we don't even know. Like maybe aliens shot it into our internet somehow, and Satoshi, Nakamoto.
Right.
Who is that? Where did this come from? Are we literally investing in something we don't know the origins of?
Yeah, but it's like I don't want to get left behind.
I know. Hey, I'm human too, Jimmy. I feel the same way. I'm not going to talk about my positions, but
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Paul, I appreciate you coming in. Paul Stone, co-founder and CEO of Colonial Metals Group. Also an advertiser on the show. He also advises me on where to put my money in precious metals, and has been backed up by many people outside of Paul and his company that I'm doing the right thing. So anyway, Paul, thanks so much for coming in. Always appreciate it. Always fun to talk to you.
Absolutely.
And look forward to reading more stuff about your Substack.
Yeah. Thank you, Jimmy. And I look forward to coming back soon.
I'm putting a lot of my money, my retirement money, into precious metals, gold and silver. Why? Because lots of people I trust with money, Max Kaiser's one of them. He's a big Bitcoin guy, and he told me gold is a good hedge against inflation, and gold is a good hedge against the stock market. And so did Carol Roth said that. And then also, who's the guy who wrote the book from Maui, my friend? Why am I blanking on his name? Ed Dowd. So they all said this, so I'm with them. And so I'm putting that into this. And I decided to partner with our sponsor to do this, Colonial Metals Group. They're helping me set up a secure, self-directed IRA where I have access to my assets no matter what the stock market and no matter what the government's doing. So let a team of experts at Colonial Metals Group help you protect your family's future. We've put together a special offer for our audience. Get this offer. Listen to this. You click on the link in the description below or call a special 800 number and you'll receive a safe, and up to $10,000 in free silver. Then the number to call is 888-910-1419. 888-910-1419, or go to colonialsmetalgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show. Hey, come see us live on tour in Los Angeles, Palm Springs, Stockholm, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Berlin, Copenhagen, Oslo, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Cortland, New York, Oakmont, Pennsylvania, right outside Pittsburgh, El Paso, and San Antonio, Texas. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.